Alright, so today I want to talk just a little bit about the dangers of just randomly supplementing with things that you hear online, and why I oftentimes recommend to get blood work done and get checkups done before you decide to take supplements. It's simply much more risky to guess than it is to know what's actually going on and then take the requisite steps to fix the problem. And I'll give you a few examples. The first one that I'll give you is actually the supplementation of pre and probiotics. There's new research coming out every single day about the gut microbiome, and we barely know anything about it. So normally we have an abundance of bacteria in our large intestine, and they do a lot of things inside of our body that can be helpful or harmful. However, sometimes we get what's referred to as small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And this is where an abundance of bacteria actually migrate into our small intestine. And for the most part, we don't actually want the bacteria there because this is the site of our nutrient absorption. And sometimes these bacteria will actually absorb these nutrients before we get a chance to. And some of the byproducts they produce can make us feel gassy and bloated. So yes, we want healthy gut bacteria, but we would like them in the right place. And a lot of times people feel gassy and bloated because of this small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And you'll often hear it referred to as SIBO. And they think that taking prebiotics and probiotics can help resolve the issue. However, the problem here is that they are simply just adding bacteria into the small intestine. So instead of these pre and probiotics getting to the right place in the large intestine, they actually stay in the small intestine and simply contribute to the issue. And I've actually seen people who caused small intestinal bacterial overgrowth by over-supplementing with some of these pre and probiotics. And oftentimes these formulas are slightly random and obscure, so you're not quite sure what you're getting at the end of the day. Another example I have is actually zinc supplementation. So zinc is a micronutrient that seems to be extremely helpful for thyroid and sex steroid production, specifically testosterone. Therefore, a lot of people say, okay, I'm going to take as much zinc as possible. And the recommended dose of zinc is between 10 and 50 milligrams. So some people hear that and think the more the better. So some people may end up taking between 100 and 150 milligrams or even higher. And even the 50 milligram dose can have some of the effects I'm about to talk about. The issue with zinc is it actually increases the production of a specific protein inside of our intestines. And this protein is referred to as metallothionein. And this protein is multifunctional, but one of the effects is actually to inhibit the absorption of copper inside of the intestines. Which means if we are overdoing zinc, we'll produce more of the metallothionein protein, and this will concurrently decrease the amount of copper we are absorbing. And at proper doses, copper has a myriad of health benefits. And zinc does as well, but the key concept is at proper doses. And these are typically doses we're going to be getting from our food. So if we are over-supplementing with zinc, this can actually lead to downstream consequences of then having to add in a copper supplement. So maybe instead of supplementing, we could actually look to food as an alternative, because oftentimes food has the right balance of all the micronutrients. For example, if we're looking at zinc and copper, one of the most abundant foods in both zinc and copper is oysters. So eating oysters will give us an abundance of zinc, but it will also give us the copper that comes along with it. Therefore, we won't end up with an excess of one or another. So I hope this video just gave you two maybe relevant examples of why you shouldn't just blindly supplement.